My dear fourth grade children, good morning to all. How are you, ma? Are you fine? Are you stay at home? Okay, ma. Okay, fine. Now you are watching online class social science, isn't it? Okay, fine. Let us start to study. Okay. What's the title of the lesson now we are studying? Yeah, that is lesson 3, Physical Geography of India. Okay? Okay, am I correct? Okay. What's that meaning, Physical Geography of India? This is last class we learned that. Today we continue this lesson. Okay. First once I recall. Okay, ma? Okay. Can you remember it? What's the title? Physical Geography of India. What's that? Physical Geography of India means what, ma? That is a landscape of India. Okay. According to the Physical Geography of India, India is divided into 6 divisions, isn't it? Okay. The first one is the northern mountains and hills of the northeast. That is a northern mountains. First one is northern mountains. Second what more? Northern plains. These northern mountains and northern plains, in the last class we studied that. Now we continue to study that other divisions, remaining the other divisions. Okay, ma? Okay. First of all, what is the physical features of India means? That is landscape of India. India's all the parts are not same condition. It is so diverse, so different. Okay. So the landscape of India, first of all we studied that the northern mountains. Where is this northern mountains? These many ranges of high mountains curve across North India. These are the Himalayas is the highest mountain in the world. Himalayas is the highest mountain in the world. Okay, can you remember it, ma? Okay, now see here. This Himalayas is the highest mountains in the world. They form a natural boundary between India and large part of Asia, isn't it? That is our neighboring countries. It is our neighboring countries, that is Nepal and Bhutan, are situated in these mountains. Okay, our neighboring countries also situated in these mountains. Okay, so first landscape of India on the northern side we studied that northern mountains, that is the Himalayan mountains. Okay, so these geographers have divided these northern mountains according to their heights. That's divided into 3 ranges, that is Himadri ranges, that is a Himalayan mountain ranges is called these Himadri ranges and the Himachal ranges and the Shivalik. So now listen here. The geographers have divided these northern mountains according to their heights. So according to their height of the Himalayas, these ranges are divided into 3 types, that is Himadri ranges, the Himachal ranges and the Shivalik. This is in the last class we already learned it, isn't it, ma? Okay, what is Himadri? These are the highest mountains, isn't it? They are also called, what is that? Greater Himalayas. So Greater Himalayas, the other name is the Himadri. It is the highest. Then here heavy rainfall and always covered snow. So it is very cold here, both in summer and winter here full cold because the snow covered. There is no plant or animal life. These Himadri places there is no animal or plant life. Okay, this Mount Everest and Mount Kanchenjunga are in the Greater Himalayas. So this Mount Everest and Mount Kanchenjunga are in the Greater Himalayas. This Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. Okay, ma? Peak means the top of the mountain is called peak. That is Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world level. Can you clear it, ma? So this is last class portion only. I recall once again. Okay. The next, according to their height of the ranges, the Himalayas. The second one is the Himachal. Okay. This is a second according to the highest. It is little lower than Himadri. Okay, Himadri ranges. These Himachal ranges, these mountains are lower than the Himadri and are also called the Lesser Himalayas. There is snow in winter, but summer in cool and pleasant. Okay, there is snow in winter, but summer in cool and pleasant. Some areas have grassy slopes while others have forest. Okay, ma? Some areas have grassy slopes. Okay, then next the Shivalik. Third one is Shivalik. There are the lowest range. Shivalik is the lowest. So according to the height, the highest is Himadri and lower than the Himadri, that is a Himachal. And third one the Shivalik. Okay, these are the lowest ranks. It is not cold here is in the higher mountains. But in many places, the thick forest of the Shivalik have been cut down, so the soil get washed away with heavy rain. Okay, now listen here. Can you clear it more? Himadri, Himachal and the Shivalik. This Himadri is the highest, then Himachal is the little lower than the highest of the little lower than the Himadri, and third one is the Shivalik. Shivalik is the very, very lowest range. Can you clear it more? Okay, fine, leave it. Now, we studied that importance of Himalayas, the effect of Himalayas, that is very, very important. The Himalayas, what are the effects of Himalayas? Then, that is first, that is, it is the very great wall, isn't it? The area north of the Himalayas is cold and windy. Yes, this is north of the Himalayas. North Himalayas is a cold and windy. So, the high mountains prevent cold winds from this region from blowing over India. Yeah, very important one. This high mountains, it is very, very high. So, it prevents cold winds from this region from blowing over India. So, it is a great wall. It is a great boundary. This makes India much warmer to that places, isn't it? So, it is the main important to Himalayas. And next, what are the other important? That is, these Himalayas help rain to fall on the Indian subcontinent. How it's possible? That is, when rain bearing clouds from the seas reach the mountains, isn't it? This rain bearing clouds reach the mountains. They cannot go any further because the mountain is very high. Mountain is very, very high. So, these clouds from seas reach the mountains. Then after it cannot further move. They rise up in the cold upper atmosphere. Then water vapor cools and turns to rain. So, these Himalayas help rainfall on the Indian subcontinent. What is Indian subcontinent? Say, that is Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan, Bangladesh. These are our neighboring countries. These are known as subcontinents. So, the Himalayas help to fall on the rain on the Indian subcontinents, and also it is help to protect India from cold winds. The first important one, it protect India from cold winds. Second, it help fall rain on the Indian subcontinents. Okay, ma. Then, snow from the mountains melts in summer and fills many rivers. These rivers have water even in the hottest month also. Here many rivers from the Himalayas, many rivers flow there, and these snow from the mountains melts in summer. Summer season snow melts and fills into many rivers. These rivers have water even in the hottest months. Summer seasons also river is running, river have water. Okay, so these are the important. And also in Himalayas, mountains have many valuable plants, medicinal value. So these are so helpful to us. This is the landscape of India in the northern side. Okay, this is the first divisions of India. Then we study that remaining. Okay, this is the last day class portions only. I recall once again. Okay, yeah. Then now we study the northern plains. What is northern plains? Now listen, Emma. The second division is a northern plains. These northern plains are located in the south of the Himalayas. So first we studied that Himalayas, that is a northern side. Then second division, that is a northern plains. These northern plains are located to the south of the Himalayas. Okay, where it marked? These northern plains are located in the south of the Himalayas. Okay, now listen here. Northern mountains, that is a Himalayas in the north side of the India. Then the Himalayas south, another landscape, that is a northern plains. Okay, these northern plains are located to the south of the Himalayas, and it is many huge rivers flow through the flat land. Northern plains means it is a flat land only. Okay, these many huge rivers flow through. So these rivers carry silt. We already learned it. What is silt, ma? Can you remember it? Okay, fine. Now listen here. That is a mixture of sand and mud. What is silt, ma? That is a mixture of sand and mud. Okay, as well as gravel. Gravel means small stones. This mixture of silt and gravel in the monsoon, or that is in the monsoon, the rivers often flood. When this happens, the silt and gravel spread over the land. Okay, so northern plains means that is a very flat land. Okay, then many huge rivers flow here, and these rivers carry silt. What is silt? That is a mixture of sand and mud, as well as gravels. Gravels means that is a small stone. What's the spelling of gravel? Gravel, gravel. Okay, leave it, ma. Now listen here. In the monsoon, the rivers often flood. So what happened? The silt, gravel spread over the land. So monsoon or flood, so over wind. So what happened? The silt and gravel spread over the land. This is called alluvium. What is alluvium? This spreading of silt and gravel. We know that now. What is silt? What is gravel? What is silt, ma? Silt is mixture of mud and sand. What is gravel? That is a small stone. So during monsoon, these rivers often flood. So silt and gravel spread over this land. This is called alluvium. This alluvium is very fertile. Plants grow very well. So the process of flooding and alluvium spreading over the land has helped to form the northern plains over thousands of years. Okay, can you clear it? This is the last class portions. Now we again to study that the third division, that is a Great Indian Desert. What, ma? The Great Indian Desert. Okay, according to this physical landscape of India, that is we learnt northern mountains, second northern plains, and we now see that Great Indian Desert. Okay, where is this Great Indian Desert lies? Do you know? Okay, I will say that this Great Indian Desert, it is lies that western part of India. Can you clear it, ma? Northern mountain is India's north side. That is a northern mountains. That is a Himalayas. Can you clear? Then second northern plains. It lies south of the same. It lies south of the Himalayas. Okay. Then third one is Great Indian Desert. This Great Indian Desert lies western part of India. Okay, this great Indian desert lies western part of India is a dry desert because desert means what? Do you know? Yeah, we know clearly. Desert that gets little or no rain year after year. Okay, sometimes it get little water or sometimes no rain means year after year no water. So it is a desert condition. Some areas are very sandy. Some areas are very sandy and sand dunes also have. What is sand dunes? Do you know? In the last lesson, that is major geographical forms. In this lesson, we studied that all the landscape. Okay, what is desert, what is plateaus, what is plains, some other geographical forms. Island, what is island? Like, isn't it, ma? I mean, clear. Okay, so what is sand dunes? Sand dune means the strong winds in sandy deserts blow the sand in huge sand hills. Okay, the strong winds blow the sandy deserts, and what happened? So the sand form a huge hills like. Okay, it is called sand dunes. Okay. Okay, so this great Indian desert mostly is sandy and also see the sand dunes by the help of the strong winds. Okay, then where in other parts there is desert vegetation. Okay, this desert is called Thar Desert and it extends into Pakistan in the west. Okay, now listen here. So you clear it now. This great Indian desert lies in the western part of India. Okay, that's clear. So desert means there is no rain year after year. Very sandy, sand dunes also have. Okay, this is a great Indian desert. This is a landscape of India's the third one. Now we study that the southern plateau. Southern plateau. Okay, ma? Can you remember what is plateau? The previous lesson we learned that plateau, plains, desert, isn't it? What is plateau? Can you say? Yeah, correct. That is a large stretch of highland that is flat on top is called a plateau. What is plateau say? A large stretch of highland that is flat on top. This plateau is higher than the ground level. Okay, but at the top it is very flat. So it is look like table. So it is called often called that tableland because it is high and flat like a table. Can you clear it, ma? So now we study that plateau. That is southern plateau. We will see that southern plateau. Can you see that? Understand that plateau? Can you clear it, ma? Okay, fine. This plateau region lies to the south of the northern plains. Now listen here. Where is it lies? The southern plateau lies where? This plateau region lies to the south of the northern plains. Okay, once again you say, where is Himalayas? Himalayas is at the northern plains. And next, the southern part of the northern plains. This northern plains lies southern part of the Himalayas. Okay, then western part of India, great Indian desert. Then where is southern plateau? Southern plateau region lies to the south of the northern plains. Okay, can you clear it? The Himalayas southern part only northern plains, and northern plains southern part is the southern plateau. What is plateau? Do you know? That is that large stretch of highland that is flat on top is called plateau. Okay, clear it, ma? That is very important. The Deccan Plateau. Where is it here? The Deccan Plateau is almost completely surrounded on three sides by rocky hills. These are the Vindhya and Satpura ranges in the north. Okay. southern plateau, that is very important. That Deccan Plateau is almost completely surrounded by on three sides by rocky hills. Can you clear it? Okay. Next we will see that coastal plains. What is coastal? Coastal plains means what? The land part meet the sea. The land part meet the sea is a coastal plains. Okay. These coastal plains are narrow strips of flatland that form V-shape around the flat regions. Okay. Then we will see that in the next class more. Okay. Your exam portion only 3 lessons. First 3 lessons. Okay. I will give the note. Copy it clearly and study well. Okay. Any doubt means you ask me. Okay, fine. Thank you, ma. We will see next class.